If you're into luxury timepieces, you might be interested to hear that the secondary market for pre-owned models can be rather lucrative. The selling price of some timepieces might be hundreds of thousands of dollars more than their current market value. Prices for well-known brands like Rolex, which formerly costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, have fallen dramatically in recent months. Meanwhile, the luxury watch industry, including Patek Philippe, has experienced something of a bubble burst as the economy has slowed down. One may ask, what's going on with high-end timepieces, and who are the beneficiaries of the industry's downturn? Welcome to the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. In today's video, join us as we take a deeper look into the secondary market, particularly the recent crash that has been happening there. But as always, before jumping right into the video, don't forget to click the subscribe button to receive updates on our newest videos. As an answer to the question raised earlier, take a look at these prices. For instance, this is the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Technically, there's nothing special about this watch. It's a three-hand stainless steel sports watch with a date. It's a mechanical watch, so it's not powered by a quartz battery. A fair amount of craftsmanship went into this. It has a decorated movement, and it has a strong brand recognition being a Patek Philippe. However, there's nothing special about this watch other than the fact that it wears well. So, would you believe that this is a $100,000 watch? Here's the insane part. Someone bought this watch brand new from Patek Philippe for $30,000 and is now retailing it for $100,000, generating a nice $70,000 profit in the meanwhile. Let's go in deeper. But before we do, let's take a step back and examine the process of purchasing a watch. So let's say you've always wanted a Rolex, and now that you've finally saved up enough money, you're going to purchase your first Rolex. Right now, there's a years-long or even decades-long waiting list to buy a Rolex. When you walk into a store, you'll see windows full of watches, but none of them are for sale. They're just on display. Even if they were for sale, hundreds of people are already on the list to buy that watch. So if you don't have any luxury watches and want to buy a Rolex, it really won't be easy no matter how much hard work you put in. The best you can do is register your interest. If you are a new player in the watch industry this year 2022, you can't even buy these watches from Rolex. Getting the GMT Master 2, the Pepsi, and even the Rolex Daytona is not going to happen. If you buy and show up to your authorized dealer for enough years, you might get there, but it will take a while. Now, if you're wondering what constitutes flipping and a flipper, know that authorized dealers give preference to long-term clients who have never done so. Watch flippers, briefly defined as those who purchase timepieces with the intent of flipping them for a profit, are the mortal enemies of true watch enthusiasts. While flippers are seen as the aka bad people in the watch industry, it's not rocket science to understand why these kinds of people exist. There's a massive supply and demand problem in the luxury watch market, with high demand and low supply driving the secondary prices of certain watch brands to skyrocket. This problem was exacerbated by the pandemic and government stimulus packages, as people were more tempted than ever to cash in on the tens of thousands of dollars or pounds of profit sitting on their wrist. One of the issues with government economic stimulus is that when people have more money, they tend to spend it on material goods. While this may seem like a positive thing, it's also a symptom of the short-sighted thinking that characterizes economic cycles. Inevitably, there is a precipitous decline after economic peaks. The secondary watch market is a classic example of a speculative asset bubble that has just burst. The luxury watch industry is tiny and highly concentrated, and the value of wristwatches is highly subjective. This creates a market that is vulnerable to abuse, corruption, and extreme price swings. If the manufacturer doesn't think the watch is worth what it's selling for, why should anybody else? The only thing these watches are worth is what some poor sap paid for them, and there's no telling how much the next blinded person who is so desperate to have the watch will spend. Speculative value was placed on certain highly sought-after watch models. The Rolex Submariner, Blue Dial Sky Dwellers, Daytona, Patek Philippe Nautilus, and Aquanaut are all excellent examples. But their prices have just crashed to earth, prompting the million-dollar issue of whether or not this is indeed a collapse or a correction to the system. If you look at watch prices through time for popular models, you'll find that the price just after the surge isn't a doom and gloom price. It's still considerably in excess of retail and worth far more than the two inflation central banks frequently target for as the day of filming this video. So it's safe to say believe that what's happening as of now is a correction. But as a warning, we must be aware that this new recession is just getting started. According to Michael Burry, the man who predicted the 2008 housing market crisis, we are headed into a far worse recession. However, in 2021, he made some very bold predictions. In February 2021, he predicted skyrocketing inflation in the year 2022, which we are currently experiencing. He also warned investors that the largest crash in history was on the horizon. The fall of Bitcoin, along with the decline in people's own savings from mishandling funds during the COVID-19 pandemic in Burry's perspective, will be the key driving forces of economic instability. Therefore, the bad news is going to grow worse. However, the good news is that if you own some of these watches that have skyrocketed and deflated, and you love them but also see them as an investment, the secondary market value of coveted watches typically holds up well. It won't be the peak of the bubble like it was, but specific coveted watches will still trade above retail. It may be more difficult to find a buyer in a bear market because people aren't willing to spend as much money, but that doesn't guarantee the opposite won't happen. The bubble may collapse entirely, for example. The main point is the market is very volatile as of now. Top economists don't know, and gray market merchants you see on YouTube don't know. As a result, watches are a terrible financial investment, and it would never be advisable for someone to purchase one simply because they seem cool. The watch market is unpredictable. Therefore, it's best to acquire the timepieces you like regardless of price. This recession is just getting started and will have catastrophic effects. So to end, the luxury world is leaving you with a gentle reminder to be economical with your spending. Please let us know what you think of this video in the comment section below. And please don't forget to smash the like button and hit subscribe if you want to be the first to learn about the next amazing luxury item. See you in the next video.